In a world of power and politics, one small nation chose a different weapon: the rule of law. When ships clashed and tensions rose in the West Philippine Sea, the Philippines did not fire cannons or raise threats. Instead, it raised a legal document, and the world listened. This is the story of how international law, diplomacy, and cooperation became the Philippines' strongest defense. This is Waves of Justice, the legal battle of the century. It began in 2013. After years of rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea, the Philippines took a bold step, filing a case against China before the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. The legal team, led by then-Secretary Albert Del Rosario and Solicitor General Francis Cardelleza, argued that China's 9-line had no legal basis under UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. 3 years later, on July 12, 2016, the tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, affirming that the West Philippine Sea belongs to the Philippines' Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ. Interview with legal expert. It was a victory not just for the Philippines, but for international law and small nations everywhere. But a ruling on paper means little without action. The next challenge? Diplomacy, the language of diplomacy. Diplomacy is the art of turning conflict into conversation. After the Hague ruling, the Philippines balanced firmness with friendship, maintaining dialogue with China while strengthening ties with allies. Through ASEAN, the country pushed for a code of conduct to ensure peace and freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. Interview with diplomat. We do not seek confrontation, we seek cooperation, but never at the expense of sovereignty. Every meeting, every summit, every diplomatic note is part of a larger effort to keep the peace, to show that respect for law must guide every nation's actions. And when diplomacy builds bridges, cooperation follows. The power of international cooperation. The Philippines is not alone. Nations around the world, the United States, Japan, Australia, India, Vietnam, and members of the EU have stood in support of the 2016 Hague ruling and the principle of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Through joint maritime patrols, training exercises, and capacity-building programs, these partnerships help strengthen the Philippines' defense and maritime domain awareness. Interview with defense official. Our allies don't fight for us. They train us, equip us, and remind the world that the rule of law still matters. Beyond the military, cooperation also happens in marine research, environmental protection, and humanitarian response. Because every alliance built on trust becomes a shield against conflict. Law as a shield, not a sword. International law is not a sword to attack others. It is a shield to protect peace. For the Philippines, UNCLOS defines not only where our waters end, but how nations should behave within them. By choosing law over violence, the Philippines became a symbol of courage and restraint, a small nation standing tall in the global arena. Interview with law professor. In the end, law reminds us that might does not make right. Right makes might. And so, the next generation must learn and carry this legacy forward. The future of peaceful seas. Diplomacy and law will shape not only today's world, but the next generation's understanding of peace. Universities now include maritime awareness programs, and youth movements are joining global dialogues for ocean protection. From classrooms to courtrooms, the story of the West Philippine Sea continues, not as a tale of war, but as a lesson in wisdom, the legacy of peace. The waves of the West Philippine Sea will never stop moving, but neither will the nation that stands for peace. Through international law, diplomacy, and cooperation, the Philippines proves that true strength is not measured by size or force, but by the courage to do what is right. In every treaty signed, in every flag raised, in every wave that reaches our shore, the world remembers. Justice begins where peace is chosen.